Greetings. I want to start off by thanking all of you new followers. It's been a while since I had a bunch of followers who joined up around the same period of time, so I appreciate that. I'm shooting for 1,000. Of course, I'm shooting for 1,000 by the next year, so I don't put any real pressure on myself. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about Instagram. I've never talked about Instagram on this channel after all these years, so I guess it's time. I joined Instagram back in April of 2012. That was when Android phones were allowed to add Instagram, because initially you couldn't do that. And the reason I wanted to do it wasn't because of anything that had to do with marketing. It still has nothing to do with marketing. The reason I wanted to do it is because I was an independent consultant, which I still am, although we'll see how that goes. And I was traveling a lot. I'd been traveling a lot before, going all these places, and I was taking pictures with the smartphone that I had at the time, and they were all fuzzy and all other kind of stuff. But I really wanted to be able to save all those pictures somewhere instead of waiting till I got home. Now I had to wait till I got home, and I would upload them to the computer, and they just never really looked good. So it was a great thing when I could use the smartphone to hit Instagram, because every picture I took was quality enough so that it looked good on Instagram. So it was just for me. And over the course of all these years, I guess we can now say it's 11 and a half years, I've mainly taken pictures for myself. I've done videos for myself. The difference is that probably around, I guess I could say late 2014 was when I started getting people who I was connected to who were seeing some of the things I put on there. Not a lot. I don't get like 20, 30 people that I know looking at everything I put up. Most of the time it's less than 5. But like I said, I do it for me. And one of the things that's nice about it is that there's certain things I can put on Instagram that I also want to put on Facebook. You couldn't do that all the time either. I think that came up maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So that made it easier. That way I didn't have to copy a link over, or I didn't have to re-type everything into Facebook. I could just, click it on Instagram and it would go over there. Of course, when I'm highlighting someone else, I have to change the name, because if they're on Instagram, they have a different handle and it doesn't translate. But that's a little minor thing. And I still enjoy Instagram. I like looking at other people's pictures. I actually like the area where you can now look at people you don't know. It's like this. There's like 5 things at the bottom of Instagram, and the second one basically takes you to a page where there's just all kinds of videos and images. And I love that. I love that because I don't sleep much. So that's just how it is. But still, it's entertaining. And I get a lot of pleasure out of it. But lately, I'm getting irked. And let's see if y'all agree with me. So one of the things that's happening, is the newest thing, is that it seems that if I post 4 or more pictures, all of a sudden Instagram is trying to get me to turn it into a reel. If I wanted it to be a reel, I would have created it as a reel. So I don't know why it keeps bothering me. And the thing is, it's going way back. So it's going back like 4 or 5 years or so. And it keeps bringing these things up. And you can't tell it, stop doing that. It just keeps doing it, And the reason they want you to do reels is because that's their competition to, my God, what was the other thing? I don't know what it was. Oh, TikTok. And, because, they already have Instagram, but they're trying to compete with TikTok. I don't care about TikTok. Sure, I see some of the videos that people share both on Instagram and on Facebook, but I don't want to join that. And I don't want my stuff going up over there, which leads to issue number 2. I used to go to the lake a lot, and I would film different things, or I'd record certain things, and I'd put them up. I've gone for walks, and I put that stuff up. I go to the fair, and I like to, every once in a while, we have a New York State Fair once a year for about 13 days or so. And, just like everybody else, you see something, you want to, record it, and now you want to share it with your friends. Well, it turns out that Facebook has decided that any video that you put up, they're going to use it as a reel. It's part of their terms of service. So if you don't want it going anywhere, you don't really have a choice except not to put videos on Instagram. I've not been one of those people. I've not been one of those people. I'm not one of those people who's always complained about Facebook. I use Facebook differently than a lot of other people. I only talk to people who I'm connected with. Every once in a while, if I have a conversation with someone I'm connected with and someone else jumps in, okay, I'll talk to them. But in essence, that's what I do. I have barely over 300 connections on there. I have like 160 on Instagram. So I don't talk to a whole lot of people. I get a lot of other stuff, which I'm going to complain about next, where, people want to connect with me. On Facebook, I shut it all down. But here's the thing. I have more control over Facebook because on Facebook, I can block a lot of stuff. Everyone doesn't know how to block a lot of stuff. I happen to know. I've talked about it. I wrote about it on one of my blog posts. It's a simple thing. If you want to know what it is, I'm not going to put it in the video, but if someone asks me, then I may put it in the comments. So at least someone's going to ask me how to do it, and then I'll explain it. Anyway, just because I'm on Facebook and I was, early adopter way back when, doesn't mean that I want everything going back and forth. I know that Facebook basically says that they have the rights to use your content, anything you put on their platforms, for other things. But, creating stuff, taking stuff like the reels or whatever, videos that you put, I have a problem with that. And one of the new problems that I have on Instagram is I have people, I have no clue who they are. I think they probably hired someone to go out and attach themselves to a whole bunch of other people so they can grow their channel. And I end up blocking almost everybody. I haven't blocked everybody. There's one local business that I had never heard of them before, but I know a couple of local folks who follow this channel. So I figured, okay, I'll just leave that up there because it's local business. I'm a nice guy. Local stuff I can deal with. But overwhelmingly, I'd probably say like 85%, the people who are now following me, and I know it's not them, are women who are dressed or undressed in a way to be enticing. I'm not a prude, but I'm not following that on Instagram. And a lot of times they have less than 5 images that they've put up, but they're following hundreds of people, and they've got already thousands of people following them. Why do I need that? There's people who are trying to get you to sign up for Bitcoin and all these other kind of things. And once again, I doubt that they're doing it. I think that they're probably paying someone to do it because Instagram has said they're not doing it. And Facebook says they're not doing it. So, I don't know. It's just one of those kind of things where I understand how people are hoping to make a lot of money off of things like Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and whatever else. Okay, I'll say X. Lord have mercy. Anyway, I understand that. And I understand that there's other businesses out there who are saying, hey, I can help you grow your followers by doing all this stuff for you for a price. Okay, I understand that. I just hate it. I wish that you could turn that off so you don't get all those things. But, it's just something that's out there and you do it. Now, I am going to say this. If you have not gotten on Instagram, and I'll mention TikTok because I'm just not on TikTok. I'm not going on TikTok. But anyhow, if you're doing that because you're worried that you're going to get inundated with a whole bunch of stuff, you're really not going to get inundated with a bunch of stuff. You're not under any obligation to look at any of it, but you're going to get inundated at least a little bit. And I think that in general, people should look at social media as a platform or platforms where you're looking to improve your life or have fun with your life. You're not there for everybody else. I mean, the main reason I'm on Facebook is because most of my family members are on Facebook. And that means something to me because, truthfully, I didn't get in touch with any of my family members until probably the late 2000s. I think it was probably around 2009 or 2010 when one of my relatives found me. And once one of them found me, then a whole bunch of them found me. So I could talk to them because I didn't see them much before then. And then college friends started finding me. And I hadn't seen them since I graduated college. Don't ask what year. Just say it's a long time. So, that works out. Do it for yourself. Do it for your reason. If you're doing it for business, then don't fuss because, where else are you going to go? I'm sure there's other places, but in general, Facebook is still the biggest monster that's out there, at least in this country. I heard there's a bigger one in Japan, but I don't know anything about Japan. Even though I lived there back in the 60s. Yeah, I'm old. But there you are. So, I'm not promoting Instagram. All I'm going to say is that it's safe enough to take a look at. Matter of fact, you can go on your computer and just look at, Instagram.com without signing in. You'll see a couple of pictures. And if that's something that you like to share, do it. I'm glad I had it when I went to Baltimore back in 2014 to this museum, the name of which I can't remember right now, but I put a bunch of those pictures up there until until I got back home and then saw that there had been a sign that said, please don't take pictures inside the museum. They could have put it somewhere bigger than what they did. So, there you are. Anyway, that's all I have. My name is Mitch Mitchell. Once again, I want to thank you new folks. I hope you didn't mind this one. And by the way, if you saw the last video when I did it in the living room, kind of showing off new office space, well, I moved that to another room, so I have a new office space and it doesn't echo as much and the lighting is better. But this is usually where I do my videos from if I'm in the house. So, y'all take care. Hope you have a great week.